Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. You can also find this and all other episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports on iHeartRadio. If you have any opinions on everything that's going on in the Detroit sports world, call in or send a text message live on the show at 231-429-3668. That's 231-429-3668. Also, you can add me on Facebook as Taylor Phillips, online at facebook.com/Phil1DT. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page. Join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group, and follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips.
And this is episode 109. I was going to have a co-host with me, but I guess he fell asleep and disappeared. So I'm going to talk about the Red Wings and Pistons and the Lions and the trade the Tigers made. A three-team trade, that is. But I'm also gonna wrap up the broadcast with a long list of college basketball games going on involving our teams from the state of Michigan. First, let me talk about the Red Wings. They won 5-2 over the Dallas Stars at Joe Louis Arena. Get into the scoring summary here. Darren Helms snuck one past what was that goaltender's name? Rinos. What was his first name? I'm trying to scroll Rinos' first name. That's the Stars goaltender. Anyway, Darren Helm got the Wings on the board first. His first name started with the letter J. UC Rinos. He stopped 24 shots that gave up 5 goals. But anyway, back to the scoring summary. Darren Helm with a wrist shot past UC Rinos at 3:58 from Kyle Quincy and Nicholas Cronwall. Then 15 seconds later, on a missed assignment with Jimmy Howard way out of his crease, Colton Sevier with a one-time pass in the slot put an easy empty net goal in from Jamie Benn and Josh Demers at 4:13. That tied the game up at 1. But Stephen Weiss put the Wings back up with a wrister from Riley Sheehan and Tomas Yurko at 11:14. And then Pavel Datsyuk on the power play netted one home on a backhander from Stephen Weiss and Tomas Tatar. Stephen Weiss is on a roll. I'll get to him shortly. It was 3-1 Wings after one, and then in the second period, Tyler Seguin made it interesting with a power play goal, tipping in a shot from the point from Trevor Daly and Jason Spezza, getting the assist as well. That made it 3-2 Detroit after 2 periods of play. And that was the motivating part that got the Wings to not only defend their lead throughout the entire third period, but to play better in the third period. Kyle Quincy with a snapshot. From the point, extended the Wings' lead back to 2 goals at 4-2 at 7:39 into the third period. Riley Shanahan got his second assist, and Stephen Weiss also got his second assist on Quincy's goal. And then Darren Helm scored again at 13:07 into the third on a wrister that he beat once and twice and beat Jussi Rinnas. The assists go to Tomas Tatar and Pavel Datsyuk. Who finished with a goal and an assist. Darren Helm got himself two goals. Kyle Quincy got himself a goal and assist. Stephen Weiss got himself a goal and 2 assists. The Wings went on to win that one 5-2. Jimmy E. Howard made 21 saves on 23 shots on goal. The Red Wings outscored the Stars 2-0 after being outscored 9-6 in their last 5 third periods at home. That's got to be a good sign, because when you have the lead at home after 2 periods of play, you know you've got to book the game by winning the third period, not just winning it, but by dominating it. I call that third period against Dallas like sort of a motivation, sort of a dominating performance. There was, they kept their, they kept all their opponent's shots out of the net, out of their own net, the entire third period. They could have scored at least one or 2 more goals to really fully dominate the third period, but this was good enough for us. Again, that motivating part that got them to play a better third period was when they were up by only 1 goal after 2 periods. Stephen Weiss is still red hot, scoring 4 goals and picking up 5 assists, totaling up to 9 points in 7 games back from a sports hernia injury that kept him out of last season. Everybody thought that he was going to be a bust. He played only 1 game this season, then got injured again, and now he's back after scoring 2 goals in Grand Rapids in a 2-game conditioning stint. Looking at his stats now, 4 goals, 5 assists, 7 games total this season. That's the Stephen Weiss we were looking for. Also, Pavel Datsyuk is doing better this season than he did last season. He's got 11 goals and 8 assists, summing up to 19 points in 15 games this season. He was out for a while with an injury as well. And the Wings were playing without Daniel Alfredsson, who officially announced his retirement after signing a 1-day contract with the Senators earlier this week. The Wings have been doing a lot better without Daniel Alfredsson. Now my question is, ahead of time, could the Wings be a Stanley Cup contender? Could they be more of a Stanley Cup contender, depending where they are in the Eastern Conference standings? They have 26 points, one behind the Tampa Bay Lightning and Montreal Canadiens in the Atlantic Division. The Lightning and Canadiens are tied for first place in the Atlantic Division, and the Red Wings are tied for third in the conference, the Eastern Conference, with the surprising New York Islanders, who have 26 points, and 1 point ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who have 25 points. They take on the New York Rangers, who have 24 points, in third place in the Metropolitan Division. Take a look at the game preview here. The New York Rangers defeated the Detroit Red Wings 4-3 in overtime at Madison Square Garden on November 5th. Rick Nash had a power play goal, and Matt Hunwick had 2 assists. The former Michigan Wolverine, and Derek Brassard scored the game winner on the power play for the New York Rangers after Tomas Tatar scored an equalizer with 7.7 seconds left in the third period. The Wings snapped a 2-game goalless streak at Madison Square Garden against goaltender Henrik Lundqvist. By scoring 3 goals. Jakob Kindl was the first Red Wing goal scorer in that last meeting in New York. The Red Wings have won. The Red Wings are 2-1-0 in their current homestand, and they've won. They are 7-2-0 in its past 9 games, and including a loss to the Rangers on November 5th. In the past 14 games, Detroit's power play is 19 for 58, 32.8%. Not that bad. With power play goals in 12 of those games, the Red Wings have at least 2 power play goals in a game seven times. Weiss missed practice Friday to attend a funeral, but is expected to play Saturday. Maybe the morning skate will help. Thank goodness no power outage before the game against Dallas, and apparently there will not be a power outage before the game against the New York Rangers. For the Rangers, they expect to have defenseman Dan Boyle back Saturday, the former San Jose Shark, after he missed the past 2 games with flu-like symptoms. John Moore filled in for Boyle and is expected to be a healthy scratch. The Rangers will be without forward Tanner Glass, who has missed the past 3 games with a mumps. I don't know what that means, but he practiced Friday, which is earlier today. The NYR squad is 4-2-0, the New York Rangers, in its past 6 games. Their power play scoring in the past 4 and converting at 21.7% in those 6 games. The Rangers have not played since losing 6-3 at home on Monday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Cam Talbot is expected to start in goal on Saturday, according to the Rangers website. So the Red Wings will not see Henrik Lundqvist at Joe Louis Arena. I was looking forward to that. But we'll see what Cam Talbot can do. Now let's talk about the Pistons. They are now 3-16 under head coach and president of basketball operations Stan Van Gundy, after losing 109-102 in overtime to the Celtics in Boston Wednesday night. Caron Butler tied it at 88 with 14.1 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, and then Andre Drummond blocked what would have been a game-winning shot at the buzzer to force extra time. But then the Pistons fell absolutely flat, giving up the first 8 points of the overtime period, the first 6 of them being scored on threes from Jared Sellinger and Jeff Green, and 21 points total in the overtime period compared to their own 14. Greg Monroe led Detroit in scoring with 29 points, and Drummond recorded a double-double of 27 points and 14 rebounds. Wow. Wowzers. Along with 4 steals and 5 blocks, including the one block that forced the extra period. Jeff Green led Boston with 32 points. Van Gundy, after the game, was furious and said his team was no good. He said they were not playing well. Didn't have much explanation to that. Didn't have much explanation to that, but I'll explain it to you. I think their defense is most definitely no good. They constantly give up way too many wide open threes, and their offense is shooting below average. Their next game is also tomorrow at the Palace of Auburn Hills, when the Philadelphia 76ers come in. The Sixers finally won their first game Wednesday night, 88-75 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. That tip-off is set for 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. Plus, and on Detroit Sports 105.1, WMGC FM HD1 in Royal Oak, online at DetroitSports1051.com, and on the Detroit Sports 105.1 mobile app. On your smartphone, at the App Store, and on Google Play. I do have an update on Jody Meeks. He was expected back next week, but Pistons head coach Stan Van Gundy, he has resigned to a longer rehabilitation timetable for the guard and added it could be February before the team's highest priced 2014 free agent is up to speed. Jody Meeks was diagnosed October 14th with a lower back stress reaction an 8-week injury, with that time frame expiring on Tuesday when the Pistons host Portland. Meeks ran with the Pistons in non-contract drills Friday. Van Gundy told the media, Meeks did run up and down with us today. Before we got into the contact stuff, he got out and did some stuff. He's doing a lot of shooting. He's doing things at game speed, but he's not fighting off screens and things like that. So that's the problem. Meeks has been cleared medically and had final tests to confirm the affected bones had healed properly. And Van Gundy added, quote, "So now it's getting back in shape and getting to the point where he can take contact. It's going to take time. To me, I think to expect a lot out of him any time before the All-Star break is not realistic." Unquote. The Pistons All-Star break spans February 12th through the 19th. Wow, that's long. Van Gundy noted that Meeks also has to catch up with his teammates after he was injured a week into training camp. Signed to a 3-year, $19.5 million contract last summer, Meeks played only one preseason game before he was sidelined. Van Gundy added, "All the offense and defense he's done none of it. It's not like he went through training camp and got hurt like say Contavious Caldwell did, and then came back. He's starting back at square one with over 2 months off. It's going to take a long time, I think, before we get a great production out of him. We're just trying to be patient and work through it the best we can, but I think we're looking forward to having his energy and shooting and things like that. Unquote. So, an unfortunate update right there, but that's just human biology. Right? Human biology science right there. So, it's unfortunate, but it's not surprising. It's not as surprising as you think, as you Pistons fans think. Oh, by the way, you can catch the Red Wings game on Fox Sports Detroit at 7 when they take on the Rangers, and on 97.1 The Ticket, WXYT-FM HD1, part of CBS Local Detroit in Southfield, and the Detroit Red Wings radio network affiliates. Now let's go on to the Lions. The Lions are getting ready for their next game at Ford Field against the 2-10 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Lions are getting back their star tailback Reggie Bush, ankle and back injuries, and offensive lineman Larry Warford with a knee injury, and Riley Reiff from a right knee injury back. After winning 34-17 over the Chicago Bears on Thanksgiving Day, while defensive tackle Nick Fairley remains out with his injury, and the Bucs are coming off a 14-13 loss to the 8-3-1 Cincinnati Bengals, who lead the AFC North, followed by the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland Browns, all in a three-way tie, obviously, for second place at 7-5. Theo Riddick is also probable for the Lions. That game kicks off Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on your local Fox television affiliate and on 97.1 The Ticket and the Detroit Lions radio network affiliates. Right now, statistically, the Lions rank 30th in rushing with 81.7 yards per game. 9th in passing, 262.7 yards per game. 17th in total yards, 344.4. Their defense is ranked first in rushing, 65.9, and 12th in passing defense, 235 flat allowed, and second in total yards allowed with 300.9. Rushing, I was going to mention rushing defense there. Turnovers, a +4 margin with 19 takeaways on 15 interceptions and 4 fumble recoveries to 15 giveaways on 10 interceptions and 5 fumbles lost. Sacks 29 by the defense, 35 allowed on offense. Penalties 87 for 719 yards total. Third down conversions, offense 68 for 173. It's 39.3%. Defense 56 out of 154. That's 36.4%. Red zone touchdowns 16 for 30 at 53.3%, and 19. And defensively, 19 and 30 out of 37, which is 50 equals 51.4%. Ball control 791 plays run to 734 for opponents, 32-18 average possession time. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their offense is ranked 29th in rushing with 83.3, and they are ranked 18th in passing with 230.3, 26 total with 313.6. Their defense is ranked. Their rushing defense is ranked 18th with 116 flat yards allowed, 21st in passing, 245.3, and 20th total with 361.3. Turnover margin -6, 19 takeaways on 11 interceptions and 8 fumbles recovered, to 25 giveaways, 15 interceptions and 10 fumbles lost. Sacks 26 for the defense and 33 allowed on offense. Penalties 102 for 870 yards. Third down conversions, offense 54 for 146. Offense is 54 for 146, 37 flat percent. Defense 68 for 158, 43 flat percent. Red zone touchdown on offense 16 of 31, 51.6%. Defensively 24 out of 37, 64.9%. Which is better than the Lions' red zone defense. Ball control 712 plays to run 789 for opponents, and 27.49 average possession time. Also ahead of time, the Lions-Vikings game has been pushed to 4:25 p.m. Still on Fox. got a comment from one of my friends on my Detroit sports group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit sports group, saying it's kind of BS. I don't know why he said that, but he said it in an explicit. He said it explicitly. I remind all of you to keep your Facebook comments clean. On my profile, on my page, and in my groups. Because anyway, the 4:25 p.m. start is because the Cincinnati-Cleveland game on Week 15 will be broadcast on Fox at 1 p.m. in our regional areas. I'm reading Tim Twentyman's article about this, and there's no specific reason for that, but except this: to ensure a Sunday night game and doubleheader games with playoff implications in the Week 17, flexible scheduling decisions for that Sunday can be made on 6 days' notice. The NFL will continue to use flexible scheduling up to Week 17 for each flexible scheduling week, with the exception of Week 17. The NFL announces the start times of games on Sundays no later than 12 days prior to that weekend. The Lions beat the Vikings 17-3 in Minnesota in Week 6. Back to the Lions-Buccaneers game, the matchup there. Last year, the Lions fell flat and lost 24-21 at Ford Field to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they had Jim Schwartz as their head coach. Mike O'Hara predicts the Lions to win 27-13. I'm going to predict the Lions 38 and the Buccaneers 10. I mean, I can't count out the Buccaneers, but even though they're 2-10, but I think the Lions' offense has got a lot of momentum, and the Buccaneers' passing defense is awful. Stafford just needs to keep throwing the ball to Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate. More often. Eric Ebron made a few catches. Made like 7 or 8 catches last game against Chicago. So did Joseph Fourier. Brandon Pettigrew made a couple catches, but he hasn't shown up much lately. And as Tom McCann pointed out in his last podcast, as host of the Detroit Daily Sports Report, he pointed out that Brandon Pettigrew is the biggest bust in Lions football history. He disagreed with the hosts of the Detroit Sports Podcast, Adam Straczynski and John McAroo, when they said that Eric Ebron has been a bust. Eric Ebron proved them wrong 2 Thursdays ago. Even though he didn't score a touchdown, made a few catches, and he didn't drop any balls, any passes. Unlike his performance against New England, McCann is saying that Ebron is progressing, and he's right. Then after the Vikings game, the Lions head to Chicago and play the Bears, who are obviously in last place at 5-8, a half game behind the Minnesota Vikings after losing to the Dallas Cowboys 41-28 in Chicago. The Vikings are 5-7. Definitely can't count out the Vikings, despite the Lions' last meeting with the Vikings in Minnesota at TCF Bank Stadium. 17-3 was the final decision in favor of the Lions in Week 6. So that's all Lions talk. Let's talk about the trade the Tigers made this past Thursday. The Tigers picked up starting pitcher Shane Green from the New York Yankees in a 3-team trade that sent minor league pitcher Robbie Ray to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Apparently, Green will be Max Scherzer's replacement, considering how much money Scherzer is still demanding throughout the year of 2014. Scherzer is a free agent, an unrestricted free agent, that is. And the fact that they gave away Robbie Ray tells you an example of why President and General Manager Dave Dombrowski made a huge mistake trading Doug Fister to the Washington Nationals for Ray, Ian Krall, and Steve Lombardozzi last offseason, and never admits that and Dombrowski never even admitted that he made that mistake. How not smart is that? We have the right to keep. We as Tigers fans have the right to keep thinking about that. Dealing Fister for not so hot garbage. And just a few months later, after that trade, they traded Lombardozzi to the Orioles for Alex Gonzalez at shortstop. Lombardozzi was a shortstop too. And they also, and this may have nothing to do with this trade, but the Tigers also picked up Andrew Romine, who was somewhere between a bust and a role backup player in the middle infield. He's a shortstop too. Plus, Dombrowski still has yet to address the problems with the Tigers' bullpen before the 2015 regular season begins. He hasn't gotten to that yet. He's still got like 2 to 3 months to figure this, to address it, and it's not early anymore. Time's already running short. 2 short months. Because if Dombrowski doesn't fix the bullpen, retool the bullpen anytime soon, the Tigers are not going to have an elite 2015 regular season like we want them to. Okay. That's all I have to say about the Tigers. Now, let's see here. College basketball scores, college basketball games upcoming this Saturday. Brought to you by the Score mobile app and thescore.com. First off, number 17 Michigan takes on NJIT at Chrysler Center at noon. Number 19 Michigan State takes on hosts Arkansas Pine Bluff at 2:15 from the Jack Breslin Center. You can catch both games on BTN. The Michigan State game on BTN to go on the BTN to go app. The Central Michigan Chippewas take on the Southern Illinois Edwardsville Cougars. At 1 o'clock, the Eastern Michigan Eagles take on the Dayton Flyers on the road at 2. The Oakland Grizzlies take on the Morehead State Eagles at 2 o'clock on the road as well. The Detroit Mercy Titans take on the South Florida Bulls at home at 3. And finally, the Western Michigan Eagles take on the Northeastern Huskies. At 4. Both teams are 5-2. The Huskies are from the Northeastern Huskies are from the Colonial Athletic Conference. And that concludes the college basketball in the Mitten schedule, brought to you by the Score mobile app and thescore.com. And that wraps up Taylor's Detroit Sports Episode 9 on Spreaker and on iHeartRadio. Thanks for downloading and listening. You can also add me on Facebook as Taylor Phillips. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page. Join my group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group. And follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips. Again, you can always call in at 231-429-3668 on the show. You can also text live at the same number, 231-429-3668. Hopefully the Pistons finally snap their 10-game losing streak against the Philadelphia 76ers at the Palace. And hopefully the Red Wings continue their hot streak against the Carolina Hurricanes in Raleigh, North Carolina. Also, after they take on the New York Rangers in a showdown at the Joe Saturday night. So until episode 110, which will be apparently soon, this is Taylor Phillips saying TTFN, ta-ta for now.
Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor.